is that. But let's move on as we are on the back nine of this edition of Peachtree Football. I want to talk about the offense now. Talked a lot about the defense here in the beginning and in the first half of the show. I want to talk now about the offense because Arthur Smith, at the end of mandatory minicamps, he was talking to the media, and friend of the morning shift, Josh Kendall, actually tweeted this out and said that Arthur Smith, if I don't have the exact quote in front of me, I should have brought it, but he basically said if Matt Ryan was handed a playbook, a lot would look very foreign to him, and he was here just a year and a half ago. And that just brings up the conversation of Arthur Smith and how this offense is going to continue to evolve. Arthur Smith just didn't come here with a set game plan, like we're just going to run the football, like no matter our personnel, we're just going to run. No, Arthur Smith is a guy where he is going to take advantage of the personnel that he has. Now, does Arthur Smith have an idea of what he wants to do? Of course he does. He is more of a running type of a coach when it talks about offensive game plans, and he's great at scheming up offensive run schemes. However, when you have a Drake London, when you have a Kyle Pitts, when you have a Bijan Robinson who can also play in the slot now, we have a Jonnu Smith, a Cordell Patterson, you can do other things. And Arthur Smith, with the great mind that he is offensively, he is going to play to his players' strengths. He's not designing plays just for himself and what he thinks is going to work. He's designing players what he knows is going to work and the way he's going to put players in the best position to succeed based off of their skill set. So it was just very interesting to hear, how Arthur Smith's offenses has evolved from what we saw in 2021 with Matt Ryan to what we saw last year with Marcus Mariota and to what it's going to be now before. And Beau, I know you've talked about how you think the 2021 offense, 2022 offense are going to kind of be married. They're going to be mixed in a little bit. It's not going to be as run heavy as it was last year and maybe not as pass happy as it was in 2021. It's going to be a nice mixture of both, Beau.
Yeah, look, that's what I've always thought is it's going to be. I've thought that for a while just because of the way they've made additions. And I think that's partly what I think that's some of what he means when he says Matt Ryan wouldn't really recognize the offense. The offense when Matt was here was built around what would be Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley.
Right.
And then Cordero Patterson in some capacity. And that wasn't really what it ended up being because Calvin Ridley, the issues are, what happened with him and at the end of his career here is, very documented.
Yep.
So I think we kind of know what that was. But but then last year you had Kyle Pitts and you had Drake London and then you went out and signed some was it Damian
Williams?
Yeah, Damian Williams, and you had Cordero Patterson and Marcus Mariota was not Arthur Smith was no stranger to what Marcus Mariota was. He had coached him in Tennessee, so he knew what that was going to be. It was going to be a run first team that could live off the passing game when they needed to. And then Kyle Pitts gets hurt, and because Damian Williams is pretty much gone, you have to go with two rookies once Cordero goes out. So so everything kind of changed, and you worked around it, and so you became run first, and you became that zone, that read option team or zone read team or RPO team, whatever you want to call it. And that is gone now too. So now with you're in your third starting quarterback in 3 years. Yeah. And this one is more of a mixture of the first two than either one was alike the other 2 years. If I said that, if you don't understand what I mean, Matt Ryan was a pure pocket passer, and he's not going to run a lot, especially RPO stuff. Marcus Mariota was an RPO guy and wasn't a great pocket passer from accuracy and efficiency. So Desmond Ridder, I think, gives you what you would hope to be the best of both worlds. So now the offense is going to be molded into what fits him and the weapons. And the weapons are well documented as well on this podcast. We've talked about them. So I think that's where he's going. I think it's going to be the best of both worlds. I don't know. Hell, you might throw the ball 35 times in week 2 and then turn around and throw it 21 times in week 3 because that's the way that's what the matchup gave you, or that's what the game dictated to you. So That's why I love a coach like Arthur Smith, because I think he is set up to do whatever he wants, and I think this offense is set up to do whatever he wants. And whatever, let me rephrase that. I don't even want to say whatever he wants. Whatever is needed, whatever the game dictates. And so that would be to me I am a Falcons fan. That to me, as being a Falcons fan and someone that covers a team and travels with a team, it's what really makes me excited about it. And I have a lot of trust in the coach that's going to be doing all that.
Oh, I mean, most
calling all of it, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing what Arthur Smith was able to do with a roster in 2021 that took a lot of dings, and you just talked about it. Calvin Ridley going out, and having Matt Ryan basically once Calvin Ridley went down, you kind of only had Kyle Pitts receiving wise, and then with the roster he had in 2022 last season, that was real run heavy and, couldn't throw the ball all that effectively. It was okay at times, but you know what we mean. Just seeing what he was able to do with the rosters that he's had the past 2 seasons with the cap restrictions and all those things, it just shows that now with the talent that he has, it seems like the sky's the limit for Arthur Smith. And again, you talked about it. He's going to do what is needed. It doesn't matter if he likes to run the ball more, pass the ball. None of that matters. It's about what is going to put the team in the best position to win. If they have to throw the ball, like you said, 35 times, that's what's going to happen. If they got to run the rock throughout the entirety of the game because it needs to be more of a possession game, that's what they're going to do to make sure they put themselves in the best position to win the football game. So just this is the creative mind of Arthur Smith and what he's been able to pull off in the past 2 years. When you think about what he's going to be able to do now with the talent that he has, I mean, it makes any Falcons fan like you and myself excited about what the future is going to hold. So exciting times here in Atlanta, exciting times here on Peachtree football, and we can't wait to get the season started. Even the preseason. Like, I need something at this point. I just need a little something. I want to see something when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons going out there, putting on the pads and playing football. But that is going to